So this was where we stopped in the previous tutorial, and I'm going to quickly finalize this. All right. So we've looked at the tag tab and the first tab, and now we're at the dresser tab. So if you haven't seen that, by the way, I'm just going to put a link at the top here so you can just check that out before you come back and watch this so you can follow along. All right, so there is a lot with cloth tags. So we have the relax tag, we have the dress mode. So this dresser tag is more used for creating uh, an object. So I think we're going to be doing some projects in this um, dresser tag so you understand more what it does. So we have the relax, we have the dress-o-matic, and we have the initial state, we have the dress state, we have the fixed points, we have the same polygon. So I'm not going to follow this accordingly. So I'm going to be picking the simplest one and going to the other ones that I feel we need. So this is self-explanatory initial states like we did in the dynamic simulation rigid body. This allows you to set the initial states of the object. So whenever you're done with a particular simulation and you want the object to be at that state at time 0, you can just set that. So if you go back, it doesn't jump to this place, it just stays there. But the first one I'm going to look at is this fixed point. So what the fixed point is used for is to hold a part of the object so it doesn't fall. So for that to happen, you need to select the point. So you have to go to the point mode, select the point where you want to be fixed. So I'm going to select this point, so to say. So sorry about that. I'm going to select this point. So let's say the simulation that I want to do, I want this guy here to be fixed so that this thing falls down. And then once you have this point selected, you can always go out. You've already selected the point. Go to this, then click on fix, click on the set under fixed point. As soon as you do that, you're going to see this highlighted here. So that means this point is fixed. So by the time you run the simulation, it calculates. So we have the clear. What clear does is it gets you out of that point, so it's no more fixed. Then show will show you whatever fixed point that it has. So if you click on set fixed point, it turns purple. The reason why it turns purple now is because we are in the point mode. As soon as you go to the object mode, it turns white. Then the show is what is showing this. So if you uncheck this draw, it doesn't show. Click, it shows. So that's what the show does. All right. Okay. So once you're done with this fixed point, the next thing is run. So if I run, notice what happens. That point stays there, and so I think someone is already thinking what it can do with this. So you already have your flag. So this is what you can use to create your flag. Then adding it to this force, your wind speed. So if I add more speed here, so more, let's say 30, and increase the speed 30. So you can already see the turbulence. You can add turbulence to this. So the turbulence, then you can already see the speed. The speed is small, so you can already understand now. In the previous story, I talked about this, but you didn't really see the effect of the speed. So if I come to this speed and bring this to 5, you notice what is happening. The turbulence strength is more of this irregularity in the noise that is affecting the subject, while the speed is how the fastness, or how can I, the speed of that irregularity that we are looking at. If I bring this to 0, see what we have. If we bring this turbulence strength to 0, this is what we have. We get to have less turbulence. Make this 2, becomes so chaotic that you have the sphere. Then you can now add it with speed, right? So that is what that does. So let's go back to dresser. So that's what this dresser does and the fixed points under the dresser. So the next one is talking about what can I say? Which one will I choose? Then we have the initial state. So let's assume I'm okay with this. If I go back, it goes back to the initial position. And let's assume I don't want that. I want that point to be my initial position. I want this to be my initial position, for instance. So I want this to be my initial position. I can just click on initial state. That becomes the initial position. So if you go back, this becomes the initial position for your simulation. So if I play, it continues from that point. So that's what the initial does. Notice anytime I click, it gets back to this. All right. But if you want to, okay, so let's look at the next one. The next one I feel we will look at is Simply. Now, this Simply works with um, dress-o-matic, and dress-o-matic has this function. So let me just look at that here. So I'm going to delete these guys here. Let me just create a cube object and bring this down. And mind you, you need to have some polygons for the dress-o-matic or that effect to happen. And the polygon that I need them here along this horizontal plane. And I just need I just need vertical polygon along it, not horizontal. And I don't want to have a box. So what do I mean? If I increase this, I don't want this. All right. So what I want is stuff like this along this point here and this. Do you understand? So that is the kind of polygon that I'm looking for. I don't want to have a box polygon. And you will see the reason why you need that in a bit. So I'm going to duplicate this again. So I will show you with when I make it a square object. So if I select this, I have to remember you need to convert this to editable format before you have effect. So I'm going to select this, go to editable, display basic, and disable this tag on this object. And I want to work on this one now. So for your dress-o-matic, this same polygon, it's used to create clothes more. So you can actually create your clothes here in Cinema 4D. You don't have to you still have to go to Marvelous Designer, but this helps you to do a simple sewing sort of. So for that to also have effects, you will need to select this whole edge. So I'm going to go to edge mode, select this edge. So highlight. So I'm just going to select this and choose tolerance, highlight this. So select the whole edge round. So I need to be sure nothing else is highlighted on the thing, nothing else. So once I have this edge selected, the next thing I'm going to do is to go back to this and click on same poly. So I want you to see what happens here. So it's going to sim all these vertex, sim them together. Just click on the set, it sims this, so you can see this X. So what this X is letting you know that it's going to bring this point and sew it down there and sew this up here and so on and so forth. So that's what that does. You can also clear, just like we did in the fixed point, you can show. All right. So that is what that does. So I'm going to, so let me clear this and get back to this. And so let me clear this, get back to this guy. And so, okay, so we have this. I think I'm just going to undo this. I think I've done so much, which I shouldn't have done here. So I'm going to highlight all this again. So not here, in edge mode. So highlight all this. Make sure nothing more is highlighted. Then go back to this dress, then same points. So we have this. So this is what I was looking for. So it seams all these points together. Then the next thing is for you to come over to your dress-o-matic. So what the dress-o-matic does is that it um, relax, falls down. That is not what we are looking for. What we want is dress-o-matic. So what this dress-o-matic does is it sews this together, but then it uses this width. Remember when I was talking about the self-collision and I measured, remember the value we eventually used, 10 is even smaller than this, all right? So what's under dress-o-matic does that it's going to keep a distance of 10 centimeter. So you don't have get to have effect, and the step is more of iteration. So if I click on dress-o-matic, it sews this together and keep that distance of 10 centimeters apart. All right. So you can always go back, Control Z, and so all you need to just reduce this value. So if I bring this value to 1 and do that, you see that the distance reduces compared to when we had 10. So I'm going to come back and change this to, let's say, 0.1. Then I'm going to increase this iteration to more 100. So this will take longer to do. Then the other thing I'm going to do is notice if I hit this, it's so it's taking long to, sorry, not play. It's taking long to sew because it's having to calculate more. So you can use this to create a pillow. But now this pillow is crumbling on itself, and we might not like that. We need to have something for it to crumble on. So this looks so wrong. So what we will do is we will have to get back. We have to create an object for it to collide with. So if I come here and create a sphere, bring this sphere into this object here. Just scale this down a little bit. So that's the secret to creating this pillow effect. So you just bring this sphere, make sure it's just inside this object. And so I can just hide this since it's distracting me now. So go to this sphere, move it up, make sure it does not intersect. So this is intersecting, just bring this back. All right, so what I would do is if I go to this object and make it X-ray, I can see this object in here. So we could just even increase this, increase it more, just like this. Then we'll go over to this coordinates, start reducing this Y until it goes inside and does not intersect. So we want to make sure it doesn't intersect with the geometry. So we can bring this up a little bit. Then we want it to get to this place also along the Z. So increase this until it gets there. So this is intersecting it, so we can bring this over. So this is what I'm trying to achieve. Then I would also reduce this Y, sorry, the X, so that no intersection. Don't forget, no intersection. So I'll reduce this Y, the X rather. So once I have this set, so what I can do is to put a collider tag. So I'm just going to copy this over. So once I'm done, then select this guy, the pillow, so to say. Then I'm going to click on this dress-o-matic. So if I click here, it does the sewing and it collides with this object here, so it doesn't fall. So you tend to have this, you can already see, so you get to have that effect. Okay, so just wait for it to finish up this. Sorry. So you might not really, so it's done. So you might not really appreciate this now until you start putting the subject um into a clothes surface object. So if I select this and hold on Alt, simulate clothes, and I don't need the subdivision actually. All I need is just a little bit of this minus 0.2. Then if I put this into a subdivision surface, you will start to see this interaction, more of this. So you can just work with this and start using your magnet tool to move points around and all that. So that's what this dress-o-matic is used for, right? So it works more with your polygon, same polygon. So relax, we just relax everything and try to recalculate. Okay. So I think I'm going to just skip ahead and do this. Go to the cache. So what cache does is just more of caching all simulation of clothes here. So you can just calculate the simulation, the cloth simulation, then you can also empty, update your frame, save the cached simulation, then load. So if I'm to come here and calculate, start calculating the whole simulation. So what this does is that I can play back in real time and just scrub my timeline and have that simulation. I don't have to recalculate all that. So that is what this is used for. Okay, so if I do that with this clothes, you really understand more. So sorry about the noise behind. So I'm at my dad's place. So if I go to this cloth and activate this, enable this, and go to the cache and calculate the cache for this cloth. So it calculates, and by the time I start scrolling, you will see scrubbing this timeline. You will see that I can move forward and backwards in time for you to see the simulation. So you already see this. So if I do this, you see the simulation. So let me just get rid of this. So you can see the effect. So by the time I move forward and backward simulation, so by the time I'm playing, this doesn't calculate anymore. So it goes in real time. So there's no more calculation because I've already cached. So it's just playing the cached simulation. So most of the time when you are doing this, you need to cache so that you can see your real time playback and all that. Then notice your object now has these dots around it, meaning it is already cached. And if you want to enter the cache, you can also see the size of your cached simulation. So you can just empty, it becomes 0 and gets back to this. Then the experts is just more of optimization tab for you to do more sampling and self collision. You want to activate it more here. Then you want to limit some effects. So that is what this is. So I think I'm going to end this tutorial here. And in the next tutorial, we're going to look at more objects. So do have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye.